One of the things Indians are most notorious for in today's world is their pioneering initiatives in IT and tech. Not only are Indian IT companies top performers in the global market, but some non-Indian companies that are tech and IT giants of today are also being led by Indian CEOs, managers, and mentors. You might think that the stars must align and all the right cards be dealt in their favor for a nation to establish itself as an industry leader. You might also think that India specifically excels in the IT world because of its great minds. While that's all true to some degree, India's domineering success in the world of information technology has far more to do with a lot of other things than mere book knowledge. In this video, we explore the reasons why IT companies dominate the global market. India's namesake as a creator of the top IT experts to the world, both on an individual and a corporate level, can in part be attributed to the obvious fact that India's educational standards are excellent, especially in the STEM fields. Top Indian education providers like the Indian Institutes of Technology (IIT) and Indian Institutes of Management (IIM) are recognized globally for their well-curated curriculum, access to cutting-edge technologies, and intensive educational programs. Even before reaching tertiary-level education, India's local curriculum places significant importance on subjects like mathematics, ICT, and science, which sculpt the students' problem-solving, analytical thinking, and adaptability skills. But high standards of education are not just an Indian thing. One might argue that in the Western world, higher education is more updated and timelier. What else, then, could be responsible for the country's unprecedented growth in industry? Parts of India are relatively less developed than others, and some are far more poverty and crisis-stricken. From issues of sustainability to employment crises, the country, like most others, does have its share of challenges. To the public, drastic lifestyle changes and economic stress are enough incentives to work hard. Pretty early on, students are exposed to the idea that they have to excel in their academics to stay ahead of the competition. India's cultural dynamic, therefore, places high importance on education, and all traits pursuing education requires like diligence, hard work, and focus. The competition for prestigious institutions of the likes of IIT and IIM encourages students to perform well and meet standards set by these institutions, and, by extension, the industry. The discipline of IT is hardly even a century old. Despite that, Indian companies like Tata Consultancy Services, HCL Technologies, and Tech Mahindra hopped on the IT bandwagon when they saw it prospering towards the end of the last century. The success of these companies in turn served as a reason to focus much of the government's attention on creating software engineers and IT professionals. This spurred the need for emphasis on the IT sector and on providing appropriate educational resources to hone the skills required for this industry. The success of these companies can not only be attributed to excellent education, but also to individual prowess and tenacity. Leaders in these companies often exhibit strong management, decision-making, and analytical skills. Furthermore, working within the country itself allows them the opportunity to interact with diverse groups of people from different parts of the country, allowing them to hone a skill that's crucial in global companies: the skill of dealing with people. These leaders are motivated by an entrepreneurial spirit, much like what we learn from their rich history of entrepreneurship. The success of many companies in and out of the tech world can easily be attributed to one man's or woman's innovative thinking, risk-taking attitude, and unwavering leadership qualities. On a closer look at many of the Indian IT companies like Infosys, one can identify a trend of urgency in terms of wanting to stay up to date. Indian IT companies have been quick to embrace industry trends and use them to create innovations that take the market by storm. Take, for example, the exceptional performance of the software company Adobe. When Shantanu Narayan took over the role of CEO and chairman of Adobe, he immediately found the importance of pivoting to a more cloud-based approach from its more traditional approach. Such is the case with many other local companies like TCS and even global companies like Microsoft, that rose to fame mostly because they were in the right places at the right time. While that might sound easy to do, a lot of determination is required to stay relevant and committed to learning the latest trends, especially in an industry like IT, which is constantly evolving. Currently, in a world inclined towards artificial intelligence integration, machine learning, cloud computing, data analytics, and cybersecurity, Incorporating new technology has become a need to ensure a company stays afloat. By the 2000s, not only was India producing some of the most skilled programmers, developers, and IT professionals, but there was an abundant supply of these experts. As the IT landscape evolved globally, more and more opportunities were created, making room for a perfect balance of supply and demand. In terms of human resources, India had a competitive edge in the industry, allowing for quicker growth. Professionals in India who do not particularly find the local employment landscape rewarding tend to turn to the global market for employment opportunities. Indian IT companies have thrived in the global market, and a major contributing factor to their success is cost effectiveness. Operating costs in India are relatively lower compared to companies abroad, leading to a constant demand for their services. The availability of ample human resources significantly helped maintain consistent and quality services, whilst still cutting down on the budget. Their services are also highly sought out for being very customer-centric and flexible. Indian IT companies have not only established themselves in the IT industry, but they've also played a major role in creating employment opportunities locally and internationally, encouraging innovation in a sector that lives off of innovations. Locally, Indian companies are held in high regard for serving domestic communities not only through stable and rewarding job prospects, but also through investments in other sectors like education and healthcare. In terms of challenges, India's success has inspired formidable competition from other countries like China, the Philippines, and Korea. Come what may, Indian IT companies have continued to prove their credibility and aptness to tackle the industry's latest problems, and it's only safe to assume that they'll continue to do so in the future. What do you think? Let us know your thoughts in the comments section below.